Administrative searches are government agencies may conduct routine searches or inspections of highly regulated businesses or industries. So these are like business code inspections, inspections for food and safety, airline passenger searches. A warrant is required for inspections of private residences or commercial buildings. Requires less particularity than standard warrants. A general and neutral enforcement plan for the searches will suffice to validate a warrant. Public school searches. To conduct a search, school officials must have reasonable grounds to believe the search is necessary, less burdensome standard than probable cause. School search is reasonable if 1. Search offers a moderate chance of finding evidence of wrongdoing. 2. Procedure for searching is reasonably related to the objective of the search. And 3. Search is not excessively intrusive. Drug tests or random urinalysis is permissible if public school students participating in extracurricular activities. Border searches. At borders, officials may conduct routine searches of persons and their effects, including vehicles, without a warrant, probable cause, or reasonable suspicion. Border is any place where one can arrive in the U.S. from a foreign country. There's a border at Denver, at the international airport. Detentions. Reasonable suspicion is required. Officials can detain a traveler at the border if they have reasonable suspicion she is smuggling contraband. International mail. Officials can open and inspect international mail if they have reasonable suspicion it contains contraband. Immigration. Officials may raid a business to determine citizenship status of its employees. Electronic surveillance, such as wiretapping, eavesdropping, that violates a reasonable expectation of privacy, constitutes a search under the Fourth Amendment and requires a warrant. Warrant requirements for electronic surveillance include 1. Probable cause that a specific crime is being or has been committed. 2. Warrant must name suspects subject to surveillance. 3. Warrant must describe with particularity the subject of conversations that can be surveilled. 4. Surveillance must be limited to short periods of time. And 5. Surveillance must terminate when desired information is obtained and must be turned over to the court. Note, all speakers assume the risk that the person to whom they are speaking is wired and or recording the conversation. Therefore, police do not need a warrant if they get someone to wear a wire and talk to the suspect. A speaker who makes no attempt to keep a conversation private has no reasonable expectation or privacy. Exclusionary Rule. Prohibits the introduction of evidence obtained in violation of defendant's constitutional right in a criminal trial. Fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine. Evidence derived or obtained from illegal government conduct is excludable against defendant. Arises when illegal police action leads to evidence. Exceptions are illegally obtained evidence is admissible if government can break the chain between the illegal government conduct and the seized evidence. Common ways to break the chain include 1. Independent source. Government had an independent source for obtaining the evidence, independent from the original illegality. 2. Inevitable discovery. Government would have discovered illegally derived evidence even without illegal conduct. 3, attenuation, where evidence challenged is too remote and attenuated from unlawful search or seizure. Includes intervening acts of free will by the defendant. After initial illegality, defendant consciously leads police to the evidence. Remedy for exclusionary rule violation. Harmless error review. For admission of illegally seized evidence to be upheld on appeal, government must show it was harmless beyond reasonable doubt. Limitations of the exclusionary rule. The exclusionary rule applies to searches in violation of a federal statute or the U.S. Constitution. Exclusionary rule does not apply to 1. Grand jury proceedings, civil proceedings, parole hearings, or administrative cases. 2. Violations of the knock and announce rule in executing search warrants. 3. Evidence seized as a result of the Miranda violations. Excluded evidence in impeachment. Confessions resulting from Miranda violations or illegally obtained evidence may be used to impeach defendant's testimony at trial, but only defendant's testimony. Government good faith defenses to the exclusionary rule. Illegally obtained evidence will not be excluded if the government demonstrates that it relied in good faith on either A, reasonably relied upon but defective search warrant, or evidence seized via an invalid warrant obtained in good faith will be excluded in some situations. Or B, a judicial opinion or statute that was later changed or declared invalid.